because like 1.5 years I was just listening here. And to start with, it's really difficult to present a book you've read, because reading is a little bit different from presenting, as well as learning a foreign language is different from being a translator. So, crucial conversations, tools for talking when stakes are high. Yeah, this is a book about soft skills, and spoiler, such books contain a lot of information that are sometimes too obvious, but we rarely do what is written in these books. This is, my opinion, that obvious, but at least I don't do a lot of things from these books. And I would like to explain why I decided to share the content of this book with you. And next slide, please. So this is like on my previous career path. I was a business analyst / solution designer in my favorite Team Sky Gigabit project. I was a happy person, and my focus was more hard skills than soft skills. And then in June, the situation has changed. Next slide. I'm a serious product owner, no smile. And that's time, when the soft skills came to the first place. And to be honest, I felt that I am not so good at picking up tricky topics, discuss it with people, and what is most important, to get some result at the end. So next slide. Small information about authors. There are 5 in like last 3rd edition. And in the last edition they add a woman to this man world. I really like it. They are all social scientists. They are co-founder of some training clubs, and they support the whole topic about the crucial conversation learning path. Next, please. To start with, what is crucial conversation? According to the book, it has 3 components. It is when you have different opinions, even if they are slightly different, it's still the topic for crucial conversation. The second one is strong emotions. You cannot tackle things in a calm way. And this is what sometimes makes you to fail to deal with the crucial conversation in a good way. And the last but not the least is high stakes. So it is when the crucial conversation, it may influence your life and your relationships a lot. So you have this anxiety inside you, because a lot depends on the conversation and the result. And at the right side, I just put some examples from the book. It's ending up a relationship, asking a friend to repay a loan. I like this topic because sometimes I need to speak with my friend to get some money back. Talking to a coworker who make offensive comments. Talking to a team member who is not keeping commitments and give an unaffordable performance review. And from my practice, so far, I have not taken the topic of giving an unaffordable performance review, but maybe our people leads are dealing with it quite often. Next slide. Crucial conversations. Some people either avoid the conversation or take them poorly. And so if you don't talk about things you consider important, this is a problem, because this problem persists. It doesn't go anywhere. And here is where authors make their attention to the lag time between when problems emerges and when you actually talk it through. And in case this time lag between the moment of problem emerges and problem being solved, or at least being taken into a dialogue for the first time, if it's small, then your relationship is full of trust, productivity, transparency, and intimacy. But if you fail to be brave enough to have this crucial conversation and the lag time is long, it is actually killing your relationship with your partner, with your coworker, with your boss, and etc. And yeah, you feel resentment, you take poor decisions, and yeah, at the end you can lose your relationship at all. So authors propose that the lag time between problems emerge and problems being solved, it is a measure of relationship health. Yeah. And I will shortly explain why this time lag is very important in terms of the stories you are being created in your head about the situation. Next slide. Yeah, what can be done with crucial conversations? We can avoid them, and as I have already mentioned, in this case, if you don't talk, if you don't discuss the problem, it doesn't disappear, unfortunately, in this world. Yeah, it persists, and at some point of time you start to act out your emotions that you collect over a long period of time. The second option is to face this crucial conversation and take it, but make it poorly and not successful. Why we do this? Because when we are under adrenaline, we feel strong emotions, and the first strategy is to fight or flight, and not to listen to and talk the problem through. And yeah, the second reason why we do crucial conversations poorly, just because we don't, in most cases, we don't have a good role model through our life, how to handle difficult conversations with other people who have different opinions, a different state of mind. And actually it refers to me personally. I have not had, in most cases, a good role model how to take these crucial conversations. I know, raise your hand if you have this example in your life of how to handle crucial conversation with other people, and not to struggle, to strike, to shout, and yeah, like this. Seems it's not a surprise for me. Unfortunately, this is the reality, and yeah, it influences our life dramatically. And of course, we can face them, we know how to do it, we're skilled at it, and we handle them well at the end. Yeah, I have a story of my own here, not my own, but my colleagues in my team. At first, yeah, we have a problem in the team. There was a conflict between team members. They were trying to solve it by their own, to have some meetings, discussions. They had really strong emotions, and they failed to discuss tricky topics in a good way, and at the end they just stop doing it. They keep silence and yeah, start to avoid these crucial conversations. Nobody from outside was able to help them, and it actually doesn't end up as a happy end. the conversation between these people, they didn't just stop working together. One of the colleagues left the team because the time lag between the problem occurs and the problem being solved, or in this case, not solved, it was too long. And then the ultimate end of this situation is ending up a relationship. Next slide, please. Silent skills, and that's actually it is. So in the book, there was an example, an experiment made by authors. They talked to more than 7,000 people, to be more precise, to doctors and nurses. And it occurs that 1 person out of 12 from caretakers, from nurses, when they saw some rules violation, like not putting on gloves or mask before surgery, they just did not say anything. So a doctor works with their live person, and the nurse observe the important rules violation, and 1 person out of 12 just said nothing. And this is how silence can literally kill. And in my team, the situation was, it's like a metaphor, yeah, silence kills. Silence killed relationship. Next one. Yeah, whose choice? So, why do we sometimes avoid crucial conversations? And what choice do we make before taking a conversation? It's a full choice. We choose between either to speak up and tell the truth, and in this sentence it's a negative connotation. Telling the truth means the other side of the choice, lose a friend. And yeah, we choose it before taking a conversation. So if I tell the truth, another person will never ever talk to me again. Or if I keep the truth to me, he or she will never ever know what I think of the situation or what problems we have. But the person talked to me, yeah, we are still friends or colleagues or whatever, but it doesn't work like this, and the source of this fool's choice, according to the author's opinion, is our childhood. So when our beloved grandma cooked some pie and offers us a piece of this pie, we tried it, and then she asked, do you like it? Do you actually dare to say the truth that, no, grandma, sorry, I don't like a carrot pie or cabbage pie, it's like awful, I like a meat pie? No, because if you say the truth, the grandma will feel, and you see it, yeah, you see the resentment, you see that she is in pain, and you lose your close friend, your grandma. So no, from this time on, you choose either to tell the truth to people or keep the friend. But that's not how it is, because you have your opinion and you cannot change it because you want to keep a friend. And luckily, there is something beyond the full choice. The best at crucial conversations, they are able, they skilled at it, they can create the atmosphere of safety where people are ready to share their opinion with each other, and by this they make the free flow of information from one side and from another side. And actually it is called a dialogue between people when they are not shouting to each other, but just sharing their information, their opinion and ideas. Yeah, and there is a term from the book, the mutual pool of meaning. And when you enter a conversation, you actually have only your own unique pool of meaning. And another person has his own unique pool of meaning. And if you don't share, you don't have any dialogue, you don't have anything to discuss. You share your opinion, ideas, other person share the opinion, and then you can at least discuss something and make some agreements. Next slide. Yeah, just some logical and obvious points why this mutual pool of shared meanings is valuable. So you have a lot of information, accurate and relevant. Based on this information, you can make smart decisions. And one point I also like, and it's not always the point, but when people from both sides of dialogue are involved in the discussion, in this case, both of them feel more commitment to the final decision, because if only one side is involved, this side, he or she, he makes or she makes decision. And if another part is not involved, what decision can be made? So another side of the dialogue makes decision for other side of the dialogue. Next slide. Yeah. And that was a theoretical part from the book. When I was reading this part, I felt like, oh yeah, this book I should share on the T-book club, because I felt a lot of correlation with my situation in a new project, and I felt responsibility to learn something new from the book and try to apply it into practice with the people I'm currently working with and problems we have. And this is about practice. These chapters of the book offer readers a lot of techniques, and I'm not going to go deep inside each of the technique. If you want, you can read this book. And each technique has its examples to better understanding. The first line, the blue one, it should be blue, this is about what to do before opening your mouth, what to think of, and how to set your mind to begin the crucial conversation. The second green light line is about how to speak up, how to begin, and how to end. And the last one, yellow one, is about how to end the crucial conversation in order not just to have a dialogue, but also some actions at the end. We can go further. And before opening your mouth, of course, you should choose a topic for your crucial conversations. And by its nature, human communication, human interactions are not easy by its nature. They are complex, and it takes really an effort to be focused on one topic. But even if you are focused on one topic, it can be a wrong one, not the right one. And how to understand this? So when you feel that your emotions are getting higher, and you feel this endless frustration that you are in this conversation, but what the thing we are discussing, that's not the right thing, and this is your this is your inner thought that something is going wrong, and that is why you are starting to feel these emotions of frustration, irritation, resentment, and stuff like this. The second sign is that you walk away from the conversation skeptical, that nothing will be changed after this conversation. Everything will be as it is right now, and we just waste our time. And the third sign is that you are in a déjà vu dialogue, speaking about things more than one time, once and once again, and yeah, actually nothing changes. How to find the right topic? 3 techniques: unbundling, actually choosing, and simplifying. So unbundling is about, like, as I've already mentioned, the human conversations are complex in their nature, and you should distinguish between 3 layers inside the topic of your conversation. The first layer is the content. It's the high and obvious layer. So what is the topic of your conversation? So for example, I don't know. Yeah, the example is here. Your colleague called you by a wrong name. So, and you can say just about this: you called me by a wrong name. This is the content, why you are speaking. The second layer is the pattern problem. It is when the problem it's repeating once and once again. And then if you feel that it's not an incident but a pattern, you should talk about this, that it's reoccurring and that it bothers you. And the third layer, and this is the deepest one, this is the relationship problem. So when you some time before touched the content part, nothing changed, then it is already a pattern. You talked about this pattern, but nothing changed, and then you have a relationship problem. So before going to the conversation, choose what you want to talk about the content, about the recurring pattern of this problem, or about the relationship that maybe already is deteriorating. Next, please. Yeah, and here I just made some notes that called by the wrong name is a content problem. Multiple times it's a pattern problem. And yeah, my name is too difficult to remember for a manager, since my nationality is different and unusual. This is a relationship problem because it touches very the person who called you by the wrong name. Next, please. You have chosen a topic for the conversation. So what's next? In crucial conversations, your emotions are getting higher and higher, and you need to focus on the topic and what is going on, and on the safety. I will talk about it a little bit later. How to be focused in that situation. At least start with yourself. So you cannot control other people. No way, unfortunately. But you can take a full control of yourself. So yeah, start with yourself. How? Just ask yourself a question: what do I really want from this conversation? Do I want to be just heard or understood? Or maybe I want to influence others' opinion. What is my point here? And from the biological perspective, this focus on the question, what do I want from this conversation, helps to activate your higher analytical parts of brain that makes you focus to the conversation, even if your emotions get you killed. And of course, never choose between telling the truth or keeping a friend, because if you do so, it's not a crucial conversation that goes well. It is a conversation that will end with at least nothing or some ruined relationships. Next one. And this is my favorite part about mastering your stories. So high emotions, again, this is the major part of a crucial conversation. But emotions do not occur by themselves. So there is a source for them. And actually, your stories, you are being told to yourself and you create, it is the reason for your emotions. So, yeah, imagine the situation about two colleagues. They prepare the presentation together and they make an agreement that the first part will be presented by one colleague and the second one by another. So it's presentation time. The first colleagues start the presentation, but for some reason, and we don't know that reason, he or she don't stop after his or her part. Yeah? The person continues to present. For some reason you don't know. At that point of time, you feel resentment, you feel upset, you feel maybe betrayed. But at this point of time, you start to tell yourself a story that, oh, this bad person betrayed me. He or she wants to be a boss for me. And yeah, that's not how we agreed to do it. What is wrong here is that you act out your emotions, the last stage of your, this is called path to action. Yeah? How you go through observing the situation to your actions. After you see the situation, you tell your story about betrayal, about a bad person, you start feeling your emotions, and then you go to silence or cheap shots or maybe some worse things. So it's time to teach yourself to master your story. And in the next slide I put some, not in the next, sorry, go further. Yeah. On the next slide I just put some examples of clever stories that are not clever, of course. Thank you. Yeah, victim stories, that is not my fault. This is totally not my fault. Villain stories, that is your fault, not mine, it's your fault. And yeah, helpless stories, I cannot do anything in this situation, I am helpless. Yeah, I call it clever stories because by telling yourself these stories, you help yourself to feel good. That's not my fault, that's your fault, and I'm helpless. I cannot do anything about this situation. But if we are not taking responsibility from our side of the conversation, other person, it seems they also don't take any responsibility for their part of the conversation, so it fails. And next step, how to set up your brain in another way. So stop creating these stories. Obvious advice. I like such advice in these books because, like, how it's so convenient to feel and to think I am helpless, and that's not my fault. Retrace your path. This is the technique, and this is about the. I also like this thing about the self-awareness. Yeah, awareness of what do you do, what you do, what you feel, what you tell to outside world, and this is all questions you can ask yourself. So what is my behavior and why I behave like this? What emotions I feel? I am trying to master this skill at least about my emotions because most of times I say I am nervous, anxious, and angry, but I think that I express much more kinds of emotions than this. And the last point is, yeah, what type of story I am telling to myself. I have an example here. Previous year I had an emotional and difficult situation in my previous project. I was a proxy PO, and officially I was a solution designer. But yeah, and this is where silence kills. Some management colleagues were not just aware that I am a proxy PO. Nobody knew about it, and at the end of the year, previous year, we did have a crucial conversation that I failed. At the end of that conversation, project management convinced me that being a solution designer is cooler than being a product owner, and that I'm a more important person than a product owner. And I got these words, I was convinced, and I agreed to go back to solution designer business and leaving the product ownership and my product to another colleague. I think in 2 days after this failed crucial conversation, I felt frustrated, betrayed, and that the management were telling me a lie. And I actually blamed them in doing so. I thought that that is not my fault, that is their fault, that is their bad decision in not choosing me and choosing another person. I had no motivation to work further. I don't know, for maybe 3 months. But after these 3 months, I just talked to myself very honestly that actually, Nastya, there is your fault in what has happened. Because you did not tell that you are a product owner. During this crucial conversation, you lost your focus on what you really want. You don't want to be a solution designer. Let be myself true, honest with myself. I want to be a product owner. And it doesn't really matter that in project management opinion, solution designer is cooler than a product owner. That is their opinion, and that is not my wish. After 3 months from that dialogue, I was honest with myself, and I understood that I'm not helpless, and this is also my fault, maybe not only my fault, but a part of the situation I created by myself. That wasn't easy, that it was difficult, but at least when I was reading this chapter in the book, I understood that I lied to myself, and then I go for the rest of the story. So when you understand that during the crucial conversation, or even after this crucial conversation, you tell yourself a story that drives your emotions to a high extent, you have to tell yourself the rest of the story. Because sometimes you don't want to see facts that are not pleasant to you. Sometimes you make some facts not true, and you make them nicer because you don't want to feel yourself blamed. And again, you need to understand what do I really want, and not to lose this focus, and then you should move to this purpose by understanding what are my next steps. So that was my, can I tell here good words? No? backup story, okay? Backup story where I lied to myself, and then after 3 months, still I have this truth to me. I told the rest of my story to myself. Next one. So now it is time to open your mouth, and it is very important to learn to look into crucial conversations, especially for safety, because when you are talking about some picky topics, the safety is actually at risk. And it is more difficult to share your opinion when you don't feel yourself in a safety. And in most cases, people either go to violence, and here I mean verbal violence, or to silence. I did a test under this link, and I just double checked that my style under stress is to go into silence. And maybe from the first glance it sounds like, oh, it's better than go to violence and be rude and that stuff. No, silence is not good at all. You just keep your opinion from this shared pool of meaning, and nobody else in the dialogue just know what you think, what is your attitude, and at the end you will act your emotions out. That ends with it every time. So if you understand that other people in a dialogue does not feel safe by some physical expressions like tone of voice, volume of your voice, some gestures, mimics, you just understand that you need to review safety at first and then go back to the topic of your conversation, because otherwise high emotions will not allow you to just to share your opinion in a calm way. Next slide. How to make it safe. And to be honest, I'm not a master of this part, because I go into silence when I feel that the safety is under risk. I'm just silent. But what you can do about it, and why safety can be at risk? Because people feel unsafe not because of what you are saying, but because of the intent they are imagining in their head you have. So when you are talking, they are actually creating their own stories. And yeah, we are like human beings, we are biological creatures, and in most cases we see negative intent. And that is why safety is at risk in most cases. So having a good intent is good, but if nobody knows about it, that's a fail. You need to share that you have a good intent. Just speaking it up. So I don't want to criticize you. Like here, an example. I don't want to criticize you. I just want to discuss this and those. You need to learn how to apologize when appropriate, because that is not my case. I apologize easily, but some people have problems, and that is normal. At this point, they just don't know how to make an apology. How to avoid this misunderstanding about your content. Make a contrast. Clearly state what you want to discuss in this conversation and what is your intent and what you don't. An example, I don't want to criticize you. That was not my intent. I do want us to be able to talk about our concerns with each other. I tried this technique with my mother. I failed. No success story today. Just now.
No success with moms.
Yeah. Actually, why? Because I am a allergic type of personality, and she's also, and that is the problem. I tried. She started to feel, in my opinion, very unsafe. And then I went to silence because I cannot stand when people act violently or crying. Yeah, so I tried but failed. But that was my first try. I will try again. Yeah, and the last point in this technique of making it safe is to create a mutual purpose. So a safe dialogue has two components. It's a mutual purpose and mutual respect. So mutual purpose, I think, is obvious. You have something in common in this conversation that can lead you to some agreements. And mutual respect, you just respect people. And during the while I was reading this chapter, I was asking myself, what if I do not respect this or that person in total? Just no respect. There's an answer in the book, and I actually agree with it. The humanity base, that it is a human being, is a base to respect actually everybody. Because no one is perfect, even serial killers. Maybe they even don't know what they are doing, or if they know, they cannot help themselves. But still, they are humans. So why it cannot be a reason to respect them? And it actually, this thought actually helps me to not to be in a negative emotions anymore with my previous project management. So they're human, maybe they made some mistake, it was also my fault. Yeah, and if I can discuss the situation with them once again, I of course will do it differently. Next one. State my path. Yeah, so we have chosen a topic, we have a focus on our conversation, we are honest with ourselves, so we are not telling clever stories, and we try to make it safe. And now we want to share our opinion candidly and respectfully, so that our mutual pool of meaning grows. How to do it? Yeah. Share your facts, what you see, what you have observed. Tell your story, and you should do it not like your story is 100% universal truth. That's not like it is. And there are other stories of other people. So yeah, you need to talk tentatively. And after sharing your facts, it is really your facts, and you share your story, you ask for other people's path, other people's story. By the last phrase here, you encourage testing. So you want to know their stories, and you try to get the stories. Again, my example from my life, I think it's a success story. Finally, it's a success story. So yeah, after the relocation previous year, I had not an easy period, and I closed from the outside world. I stopped talking to my old friends from St. Petersburg, from Russia, and over some period of time I noticed, when I came back to the real world, that one of my friends stopped writing me or showed any interest in my life. Next slide, please. And in April, when I came to St. Petersburg, we met, and that time I didn't know that I am having a crucial conversation. The relationships these relationships are so valuable for me that it seems I did my best that time, and my friend also. So I try to describe the situation. So I describe my feelings, that I feel that our relationships are far from being called the best friends anymore. Yeah, we chat seldom, this is facts. We have not called each other for 6 months, this is also fact. And I don't know what is going on in your life. Then I tell my story. I thought you have your own life in St. P with your new friends, and you don't need me anymore. And that was what I thought about the situation. I felt alone. And then I asked her, what is your opinion about the situation? What we can do here? What do you feel? And a friend just tell me that, yeah, Nastya, I thought that you now have your own life, new friends, and that is why you just didn't chat me at all. No initiative from my side, and that was real. And this is the part of the story where it is my fault, and I'm not helpless. And at the end, we shared both sides of the situation, and just make a commitment that I will write to her more often. She does the same to me, and I think that conversation helped us to save the relationship. Otherwise, I think that in the parallel reality, I would have less, one close friend less. Next one. Yeah, explore other parts. This is when you state your opinion and you want to hear other opinion. But people like me, they don't share. They keep silence. And what to do with this? Just to try to ask. Sometimes it helps, sometimes not. If it doesn't help, and you really want to listen to others, you can look at some physical expressions, like, again, tone of voice, volume of voice, mimics, gestures, and this is where you have an access to other side, to other person, so you see how he or she looks and acts, and you start to mirror it. We can go to the next one, actually. Yeah, examples here. So you see that a person, for example, say, I am fine, don't worry about it. But you hear that he or she not fine, he or she is upset, and you just say it out loud, that you say that you are fine, but you look upset, and your voice sounds being upset. Maybe this will help person to start to share feelings, emotions, and ideas. Paraphrase. If you are skilled enough and if you're lucky enough, other person share their ideas, thoughts, opinions with you, but then go to silence again. Here you can say what you have already heard from his or her, but in your own words. Right. This is when the situation goes completely failed. No one is picking up. It is still silence. Nothing helps, and you can go for prime. Prime means you do your best guess why this person feel like this, or act like this. and you just guess what can be the reason. And maybe after it, a person says, sorry, no, that's not truth, and then the truth can come. And actually, in my opinion, all these tactics, they actually show your interest of solving the problem, because you're asking, you pay attention to humans' person body language, yeah, and you try to be involved, you try to show your interest. And in most online meetings with my new team, I am doing crime. They keep silence all day, and I'm just saying, do you keep silence because you don't understand what I want from you, or maybe you are thinking? And then they really speak up. We are thinking, we don't understand you, or something like this. Yeah. Next one. Yeah, I will go quickly about this. Know your worth. Doesn't like it yet. I'm also tired, sorry. Like 10 more minutes and I'm done. You take your pen. And this is about how to take a negative, strongly negative feedback in a calm way. And it's so obvious, but that is not easy. Yeah, that is not easy, because if you know your worth, if you have your pen in your hand, and this is a metaphor, so if you have your pen in your hand, you understand your worth, you know who you are, what you can and cannot, and in this case you don't allow other people to dictate you who you are and what you can. Such easy, but I'm still struggling with taking a rough feedback to me calmly, because it seems I have some problems with the growth myself. Next, please. That would be quickly. So move to action and empty slide. I like it. I was trying to finish the presentation today, but I didn't manage to do it. Move to action. That is so obvious, actually. So the dialogue is not a decision making. After having a successful or partially successful dialogue, you need to pick action points, and what is more important, your back. Take a seat. Yeah, and what is more important, to make the agreement as clear as possible. And again, some fuck-up story here. Today I had a second day of pre-planning session, and like 2 weeks ago I asked my Scrum Master to prepare an Excel with a capacity for a team for each sprint. That is not the clearest agreement between us, because she did it actually. She prepared the capacity per sprint, but not per person. And then I just needed to calculate it by myself, because we didn't have time and I want to finish it today. So, yeah, as clear as possible. And in that case, you get what you want. Next slide. Impression about the book. So I actually like all examples they put into the book, the authors put into the book, because it's easier to understand sometimes what they mean. Yes, sometimes very basic and logical things are explained, but this is a soft skills book that is normal, in my opinion, about this kind of books. But again, basic and logical things, obvious ones, but at least I really do it hard.
So you
No.
perfect, thank you.
But thank you for coming. They have a website, and I'm going to go through it because they have a lot of tests, examples, case studies. Yeah. And actually, my approach to negotiation tricky topics has already changed. Yes, some of them failed, but still I am trying, and I'm going to reread this book next year again, because a lot of details are inside, and it is a little bit difficult to remember each of technique, but at least I picked some that I want to train and to master. Yeah, so 10 out of 10 for soft skills books from me, that's a seldom case. Thank you. That was all.